Hello everyone, welcome to our next video in the Paper Flourish craft videos. Continuing on with our Lavinia mail card series today, and the stamp I want to focus on today, or the big feature of our card, is going to be the Green Man stamp. Fantastic stamp for a card. Mail card, there's so much you can do with this stamp. I've got the Green Man small, but it also comes in a much larger as well, which should be fantastic if you want to use this stamp in mixed media, in an art journal, or even just on a bigger card. So very really useful stamp. I'm also going to be using the sentiments from the Heartfelt verses, and the stencil I'm going to feature today is this fantastic stencil, nice big square one. It's called Ambience. So I'll just pop those to the side and bring over the Lavinia multifarious piece of cardstock I've got here. This is around about 1/4 of an A4 piece, so that's approximate size I've cut there, and it's just going to be just right to fit that Green Man stamp on. Now we're going to be doing some ink blending, some stenciling, some stamping, and I'm going to finish off with the sentiment on the card using the Lavinia Mica minerals to stamp to make that nice and shiny and stand out. So let's get started with our card. So we've got our white Lavinia multifarious card. Now I'm going to be doing some blending with some distress oxides. I've got Mowed Lawn and Rustic Wilderness. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the entire area of the card with Mowed Lawn. It's fantastic green colour. When I'm going in a large area and I want quite a heavy blending of ink, I usually go for my good old Tim Holtz blending tool, and with the dome on the end, the dome sponge. So I'm just going to ink that up, and I'm going to completely cover the card with this fantastic colour. Look at the brightness of that. Okay. All right. So the oxides blend beautifully. So we just want a nice coverage over the whole card. Oh, I think someone's coming to visit. Coming up. Come on. Come on, Murphy. Here we are. Murphy's coming to join in. Hello. You coming to see what's happening with the Green Man stamp today? All right. Okay, I've got a tail floating around on the table now. Are you going to sit on my lap? Yes, you are. I often do craft with Murphy sitting on my lap. What better way to do craft? And he's watching very closely now. Okay. I'm not being too worried about getting the blending perfect and smooth, because I'm going to be doing some stenciling over the top of this. So I really just want to get the green over the background. So it's a nice coverage there. Okay. Fantastic colour. Hello, Murphy. He's looking around, looking up at me. As long as he doesn't try and sit on my card again. He likes to do that while I'm doing my craft as well. Okay, so we've got our green all over the background, and that was with the Distress Oxide Mowed Lawn. I'm now going to bring in Rustic Wilderness, and now we're going to bring our Ambience stencil over, place it on top of the card. Now I want the Green Man to be the center of the card, so I'm going to work some stenciling just around the outer areas of the card. So I'm going to place the stencil down. Now I'll go for my stencil brush. I'm using the larger stencil brush, the 1 inch. Take some of that off, and I'm just going to go around this area. And I love this effect of stenciling when you're working with the two colors. So I've chosen a darker shade of green to do the stenciling with, and I'm mainly focusing it just around the outer edges of the card. Okay. Trying to see around Murphy. Hello. Whoops, I moved it a little bit. That's because he's nudging my hand wanting a pat. All right, I'll give you a pat in a minute, Murph. Just let me finish the stenciling. These stencil brushes are amazing to work with your stenciling. All right, so we're going to take it away and look at the effect of that. So using the darker colour second, the stencil, I've still got the centre area free to, that's where the stamp's going to go mainly, but now we've got this brilliant pattern going around the edge of the card. Just pop those to the side. Okay, now this is fairly inky. It's pretty wet, this card, so I'm going to give it a dry with the heat tool. Murphy probably isn't going to like that very much, so you might find that Murphy disappears pretty quickly here. We'll see. Oh, nice. Actually sitting there okay today. All right, give him a pat at the same time. If you were doing a lot of ink blending on your card, not a bad idea as well, just to ink it up, leave it overnight, do your stamping the next day. I guarantee it's going to be nice and dry that way. Okay, we might just do that because Murphy's getting a bit freaked out there, aren't you? There we go. All right, so we've got our card with our stenciling around the edge. Now we're going to stamp the Green Man. So I'm going to do this on the stamp press because this card is pretty inky. That gives me a chance to stamp it a couple of times if need be. So let's get the Green Man stamp. This stamp also comes with 4 different leaf stamps, which we're going to use shortly as well to decorate the card. So I'm going to pop that up there, hold the card down with the magnets and position the Green Man stamp. Really want it to be in the center of the card. Close that, pick up the stamp, pop it back into position. All right, here we go, Murphy. Ink it up now. I'm going to use the Versafine Clair Nocturne here to ink up the stamp. I think Murphy's going to become an expert crafter one day. He likes to sit here and watch all of this. So this is stamped up. We're going to bring it over and stamp it onto the card. Give it a good press down. Carefully bring it up. Let's have a look how that turned out. Turned out pretty well. I might just ink it up one more time because I want a really good strong image. Okay, let's bring that over again, Murphy. Here we are. And that stamped really well. It almost makes it look like the colour behind him is glowing, doesn't it? That green and then that pattern around the edge. So let's pop that to the side. So now we've got our Green Man stamped in the middle of our card. All right, let's to the side. So we're going to decorate the Green Man with some leaves. Just placing some leaves at the end of the branches. You could leave it just like that. I'm going to do this. So I'm going to work with some colours, mainly some of the browns, might bring a bit of Acorn, even a bit of Chianti. So some of these fantastic Versafine Clair brown colours. Let's work with these. So I'm going to use the smallest Lavinia acrylic plate. Here it is, the stamp plate. Placing the leaf on there. We might start with Acorn and we're just going to stamp some leaves with Acorn. I'm just going to stamp to the end. Oops, I've got the ink on the plate. Stamp that to the end of one of the branches. There we go. So we'll stamp a few of these in each colour. It's a fun stamp to work with, this one. I'm going to go with a different one. I'm going to use all 4 leaves and do a different colour for each leaf, I think. Some down the bottom here. Okay, so that's in the Acorn Versafine Clair. Let's swap to another leaf. They're all slightly different, the leaves, which is nice. And let's bring in some Chianti. Chianti's got a slight sort of almost like maroon tinge to it. Well, this will blend in nicely. So let's bring some of these in. Might leave them right off the bottom because I want to leave some room here to place the sentiment on there. So we're just going to gradually build up the foliage. If you do have a chance to come into our store, Paper Flourish, these cards, I have been placing them up in the store on display, so you get a chance to see the actual card. Of course, it's a bit hard if you're watching from interstate, if you're not living in Adelaide. But then you get a chance to see them here on the videos as well. So that's Chianti. Pinecone. Now, this is a very deep brown colour, Pinecone. Let's add some leaves in Pinecone Murphy. I'm not sure if you can see him, but he's checking everything out very closely. There we go. The children do call me the crazy cat lady. We're probably starting to understand why. But you're a good boy, aren't you? He's good company, Murphy. Alright, and then we've got one more colour here. See how we go with Fallen Leaves. That's another brown shade as well. It's like just a slightly different tone there of brown. This is a smaller leaf. So we'll pop a few of these in amongst the other foliage. So you can add as many leaves as you wanted to with this one. Very, very easy. Couple more, Murphy. I feel like there needs to be one just sitting over there somewhere, maybe. Or we might go here. There we are. I don't think we need any more than that. So we've got our leaves there. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in from the Heartfelt Verses. Oh, let's see. We might pop With Love, I think, down the bottom there. Or Just For You. Let's have a look. Might even bring Just For You in just on the side here. That might be better. Now what I'm going to do is stamp Just For You in the Versamark Embossing Ink, which is going to stay wet long enough for me to pop the Mica minerals. So I think a little bit of shimmery bronze for the sentiment on the card is going to look really, really good. Well, we hope so. Let's give it a try. So let's ink up with the, so this is clear. So when it goes on there, you only just, you'll be able to see it because it's wet on the card, but not as obvious as, say, your Versafine Clair. Where are you off to, Murphy? You right there? No, staying on my lap. Just managed to get that a little bit crooked on the card. I'll just try that. Just going to straighten that up because the stamp's just a little bit crooked on the plate there. That's better. We might just ink that up again. I think I should rename these videos Crafting with Cat on Lap. So I'm stamping this with a tail. You're right there, Murphy. Oh dear. There we go. So I've stamped Just For You onto the card with the clear, and then let's bring in the Mica minerals. Now we have sets of brushes in the shops. They're almost like two little makeup brushes. Mine is slightly larger, but you just need a really soft, fluffy brush. Pick up a little bit of the Mica mineral, and I'm going to pop that onto the card. So once that's on there, I'm going to get a big fluffy brush and sweep it away. Brush it away. So now we've got a little bit more on the card there. So now we've got Just For You, and when the light catches it, you can see it really clearly. Just For You stamped on the bottom of the card there with the Mica minerals. So it's not obvious always front on. I can still see it, but as soon as the light catches it, it shines. You can see that. You could brush a little bit of the metallic bronze over the whole card, make it all sparkle a little bit. That looks really pretty. Now, Mica Minerals, and I've done it again. I've got a thing with this bronze one, haven't I? Whenever I use this, I spill it, as you've seen me do in the gel press card with Magnus the Stag. So I've managed to spill it again. I'm going to worry about that shortly and put it back into the jar. But this can still brush off. So to seal it, and one of our lovely customers at Paper Flourish has given me this hint. You could do a sparkle spray over the top if you wanted the card to be all sparkly and glittery. We've got a lovely 13 Arts clear mist in the shop, which works well. But something needs to go over the top to seal this. And our lovely customer suggested she uses Taft hairspray. So I'm going to come up quite high, give it a quick spray to seal it, and just let it dry. And that will stop the Mica Minerals. It hasn't marked the card at all, but it will, as it dries, it will put a seal on it and stop that from brushing away. Well, that's our card. So I hope you enjoyed watching that card. Enjoyed all. Murphy's coming back again. Do you want to come and say goodbye, Murphy? Come on. Murphy, come. Here he is. There we go. So Murphy's come to say goodbye as well to everyone. But thank you very much for watching the videos. And I'll be back again very soon with more videos. Not only with Lavinia, lots of different things will be popping up onto our channel. Enjoy your day, everyone. Back soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.